Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of how I play my competitive list. Today, brand new game, so Pillage, another fantastic war games. Then has miniatures and it's fantastic of the Dark Age periods. Another beautiful, very interesting times of humanity. Today I decided to show you my looter list of my Anglo-Saxon. So I like to divide my list. This is 500 points. And I like to divide my list in invaders, home guard, and looters. So you can have like a different type of list based on the game then you gonna play. So like looters, for example, it's when it's more the priority is to loot the village. Invaders, it's more like an aggressive force that has to wipe out the enemy. And home guard, a more defensive stance in case of you are the one invaded. Which, by the way, gonna happen quite often in this period. But let's start to talk about this list. This is like 500 gold points. And the way I like to see this list is sort of like a captain of the militia decide to build his own mercenary kind of groups, and he managed to pay some experienced warrior, but are more like the more militia kind of men-at-arms than he found around the Dark Forest. So my Anglo-Saxon looter list, it's 500 points of the nose, and it is 14 models, which is not too bad for 500 points. It's not too much, but it's not also too low. So in this list, the priority, of course, is movement and rapidity. Honestly, the Anglo-Saxon, that's my personal opinion, they are the strongest faction. Not strongest in the sense the most belligerent, but in my opinion, they have one of the best ability in the game, which is the one of the Huscarls. Then once time per turn can make move everybody double, then he's around his own bubble. Fantastic ability, and so in this looter list, it's important to remember that capability because it gives you definitely a strategic advantage to other nations. But let's start immediately with the chief in command, which is this belligerent guy, full in blood, of course, armored with shield, armor, and sword. Beautiful, beautiful model from Victrix. I really like his head, special head. Beautiful model. So immediately we talk about his ability later on. Let's get to the list first. Then we're gonna have our Huscarl, absolutely fantastic warrior. Look at that, pissed off with his axe, just opened the head of some unfortunate man, full of blood, and it's equipped with full armor, shield, sword, and Dane axe. Huscarls are fantastic because they can use, they're one of the only model that can use both weapons, so good when you want to sort of defend, you use your shield and your sword, but when you are in attack, you use your Dane axe. They also have proficiency, and so they have extra bonus with the Dane axe because they attack in contemporary instead and be last. But special ability, the main character I will say of this army is him because he has his bubble, and when he activates, everybody can move double times. And this combo, it's perfectly with the next character, which is our War Horn. It's a simple model with War Horn on it, and it just have a little knife, so very simple model, but everybody then start the movement close to him can move an extra 2 inches. So with this fantastic ability, you can really maximize and move your entire army, ready to go take those treasures and run away from the enemy before anybody wake up. So beautiful, beautiful ability. Absolutely the strategy for this looter army. Of course, and then how I like to play it, we're gonna have a couple of strong, experienced warrior armed with shield, armor, and sword, which are kind of like our like backbones, especially to protect our chieftain, to engage the enemy warriors and sort of to stop them, so the more light infantry can do the rest of the job. And because we wanna go very, very quick, especially if there is an important movement to do, or we have to stop an important character, or maybe snipe with a cheeky charge the chieftain of the enemy. We have a man on a horse with shield and spears, and even this ability, if we start close by the horn and the Huscarl, we really can go and loot those poor villagers sleeping in their bed. Another things, so now we go to the core, the more light infantry, which is composed by 3 warriors with shield and spears. Of course, those are the proper looter, let's say. Those what they have to do is to run and grab the treasure, put it back, and eventually fight. They have spears and shields, so a little bit resilient, and they can support each other or support the warrior with the sword. I really love this model, love the head, very Gaelic, Celtic looking miniatures, beautiful. And then we have even more lighter troops, just an extra 3 warriors, just with spears. They just gonna do exactly the same of the others, but they are lighter, so need to be careful with this one. They die very easily, but they should do the job. Some nice cheap body, then can kill the enemy and keep moving quickly thanks to the Huscarls, our Anglo-Saxon, ready for some treasures. And then in the end, we're gonna have our archers, which I didn't need to go to 3 because like we want to move, and fundamentally the archers take position, stay still, and then shoot his arrow, but then it doesn't really move, it doesn't really go to loot. So I think 2, it's nearly too much. I was wondering if it was better to put only 1, but 2 sort of like give you that extra security, especially if there is if you face him some berserker, you want to target them with your arrow before they get to you and open you in 2. One of the most important things is like our chieftain has 2 abilities, and I decide, because movement is so important for this list, athletic training. It's expensive, it's 50 golden point, but it gives you the ability to ignore the possible obstacles. So if you have a fence, usually you have to detract the 2 inches of the fence to your movement. That's gonna slow you down, especially when you run away with your loot and you don't wanna be charged by the enemy. So this ability grants to all your infantry the ability to ignore those obstacles. Absolutely strong, especially for this looter list. And then for just 5 points, Youth Provocation. It's a looter, a bit of like a low-born kind of army, so they love to insult the enemy, and this ability grants you, at the first combat of the game, the enemy hit you a bit less because he's pissed off with you, and so he cannot concentrate. There you go, guys. You have this nice little list of Anglo-Saxon, the looter. Let me know, guys, if you enjoy, if you like the miniatures, of course. Victrix miniatures, absolutely fantastic. Really nice to paint and extra details. I love to put blood everywhere, especially in those Dark Ages time. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you next time.